And we are live, guys. I don't know how many people we're gonna have on at the moment. I know Bruce is doing a stream. I didn't realize he was doing a live stream right now too. But we'll go on. How you doing today, Rick?
Chris, I'm doing good. Down in Naples for another few days and then headed back north, but doing fine, thanks.
Nice, nice. What you wearing today, watch wise?
Right now I've got my Omega Speedmaster Tintin on. Let's see if I can,
Okay,
kind of a red
nice.
racing dial. Yeah, rare watch, kind of a mystery on how many of these were made. This is one of those things. I picked it up because I liked it. I liked the dial, but
Uh-huh.
it's probably tripled in value in the 5 years
Now
that I've
that's
owned it.
the reduced model, correct?
No, no, no.
Okay,
Speedy Pro, Speedy Pro.
okay, okay. I got you. I got you. Cool, cool. We were gonna go over a couple of your new purchases there that you gotten recently. I know noticed you gotten a couple new purchases in, huh?
I did, yeah. It's been busy while I've been down here in, hey Thomas,
What's up,
while I've been
Thomas?
down
Hey,
here,
William.
yeah, while I've been down here in Florida. I don't know, I'm terrible with this camera, but I will,
You're
that's the,
good.
that's the Speedmaster. You know, I got my first Grand Seiko, and when they introduced it, I knew I had to have it because it took care of the thickness concerns that I had. So I picked up the
Okay.
white birch,
I'll throw you
and
on the solo layout, by the way, so they can see the watch a
yeah,
little bit.
great. Boy, look at the texture of that dial.
That is killer. I have yet to even see a snowflake in person yet.
And let's see if I can get this in profile here.
Okay, real thin then.
Thinner than a lot of the Grand Seikos. And a
Nice.
lot of people complain about the bracelets. I'm going to tell you, I think this bracelet rivals any integrated steel bracelet that I have.
Now,
VC, Patek. So I don't know if this is the same as other Grand
mhm.
Seiko models or it's a different bracelet, but this bracelet feels fine. Now, no micro adjustment on here, but geez, the thing fits me just perfectly. So I guess it just depends on your, it just depends
What
on your
size are
wrist.
they? Is it 40?
That's 40.
Okay,
But for me, it was all about the dial,
okay.
Yeah.
Nice. What's going on, Nilo? How you doing, bud? Now have you noticed? I've heard. I know my buddy James. I told you about the Great Gambino. He was looking at either getting a Snowflake or a Speedy, and he's kind of veered more towards the Speedy because he heard the Snowflakes, the bracelets are kind of scratch magnets. Have you noticed that on yours yet, or no?
It's, Chris, it's all brushed. So, which I really like. I've got a lot of watches. I don't know what I've got here. Well, like I've got this is a Skydweller, and it's, a combination of brushed and um,
Okay.
stainless,
Okay.
polished and brushed, and that definitely catches more scratches than this completely
Okay.
brushed. Now, admittedly, I only had this 2 weeks, and
Yeah. So you're
I'm
still
only
still honeymooning with it, huh?
well, yeah, and that I mean, I've got a lot of watches, and so none of them get a ton of wear, so I don't beat up my watches. I don't beat up my watches too bad,
Yeah.
but
Okay. That's definitely one you probably got to see it in person, right? Just to see the Dow.
yeah, and it's not a limited edition, but I heard that they're because of the dial, it's limited production. I got the first one that came into my
Uh-huh.
AD. It's a real metallic birch-like dial, and then
Hmm.
it's got kind of not quite navy, but a mid blue color sweeping second hand that is just gorgeous. I love it.
Nice.
It's not like I avoided Grand Seiko, but never really got into the brand. But when they introduced this, the other one that I really liked when they had, I think they introduced maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, the spring collection in the US. It was just four pieces for the US, and they had kind of the spring one. I forget the model number, something 003, and it had sort of a slight pink hue to the
Hmm.
dial to represent the cherry blossoms. That's
Hmm.
one that I've seen in person and it barely looks pink, and I really, really, really like that. But this is,
Yeah.
I think, I think this is a great watch. You know, the only complaints I've heard where people said it's a little expensive, Chris.
Yeah.
Um, you know, no, I got a little bit of I got a little bit of a discount based on my AD relationship.
Uh,
Um, but you know, for a really cool dial, brand new, brand new escapement, dual impulse escapement. You know, the new movement, thinner profile, longer power reserve. I don't know. I mean, rivals a lot of Rolex and
it,
other things that I own.
I think it took them a little while, but I think they're starting to gain a lot of better perception among us watch idiot savants, I guess you'd call us. But I think they're
Yeah,
starting to get a better perception. I think a lot of times, I know me at first, it took me a little while to wrap my head around that much for a Seiko. But since they kind of separated the brand, I think that's kind of helped their perception a lot. Separated kind of from Seiko, and I do kind of like that it is an under the radar piece compared to like say a Rolex. You're not going to get robbed for your Grand Seiko as opposed to hopefully you never do or nobody ever does, but they're not going to look at you for the Grand Seiko as opposed to a Rolex, right?
yeah. I love this thing. It's a really, really, really cool pickup. Um, let's see, couple other things that I just got, sort of on the theme of integrated steel sports bracelets. This one's going to be harder to show, but this is the Chopek uh,
Okay,
Passage Passage de Drake.
that is
Uh,
now is that are they considered more of a micro brand?
yeah, you know they do just do a few hundred watches a year.
Okay,
But look at that bracelet.
that's killer. That's an integrated bracelet.
Yeah, and it comes like an overseas. Doesn't
Huh.
come with all three, but it comes. You can order at the for the package price. You get the steel bracelet, and then you can order either an optional rubber or leather. I ordered rubber, and they give
Okay.
you the tool. They give you the tool to change it. I haven't tried changing it yet, but my VC, my overseas, is like super cool, super easy to change. Oh, there. Yeah,
It's
this one's
nice.
pretty hard to show on camera, but again,
Yeah,
pretty thin.
real thin. What size is that one?
40.
Okay. That seems to be the normal go-to size now, 39 to 40 for a lot of brands, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's a kind of a universal fit for even people with bigger wrists and smaller wrists.
You know, the rub on this would be no, like the Grand Seiko, no micro adjustment on the bracelet, but again,
Okay.
fits me perfectly. Came, came just a link too big from Geneva, and I took it into the Chopek AD down here in Naples, where I'm
Oh,
at,
we
and
lost him there for a second. Sorry, guys.
yep, exquisite timepieces, and they
Having
just
some technical difficulties there. But oh, there he goes. You still
good. Can
there?
you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay.
Hey, Rick, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Maybe try the sound again. Did you hit the microphone to mute?
Let me go off Bluetooth.
Because I can't hear you, but you can hear me though, right? Can you guys hear Rick? Okay, it must be on my end. I'm using Google, so I don't know what it is. Let me exit again and I'll enter back. Sorry guys. All right, sorry. All right, can you hear me now? I can't hear you though. All right, maybe now.
How about that? Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, I'm an idiot. Okay, yeah, I know exactly what it was. I'm an idiot. All right, but sorry, Rick. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I said the rub on this Chopek is no micro adjustment on the steel bracelet. This was a limited edition of 40 pieces in this color, this gray dial. The other dial colors are not limited editions. I think it's a brand on the rise. I'm
Okay,
pretty happy. So that's another new piece that came in while I was down here in Naples. So I love that one too.
nice.
I've got one more new watch. I think you've seen this, Chris, but this is way cool. Kadoki 2.
That one is cool.
There, that's a little better. Stefan Kadoki, a very young ACHI candidate.
Nice. Now they only make so many. How many of those a year does he make?
Yeah, not many, and these have gone up a little bit in price. The last watch, Nilo, was a Chopek CZA-PEK Chopek Passage de Drake. This is a Kadoki 2, pretty reasonable. I mean, this is sort of the same price as that Grand Seiko, like $8 or $9 grand for an independent. And I think if Stefan Kadoki becomes not just a candidate, but becomes a full-fledged member, ACAH member, that's guys like Philippe Dufour and Jorn and Laurent Ferrier, all the master watchmakers. If he becomes a full-fledged member, I think that there's a pretty good view. I think that this brand really start to take off. So this is a modified harboring base caliber.
Okay.
But heavily modified. And then obviously the engraving, if you can see on that day-night indicator, that hand engraving that Stefan Kadoki does. And most of these watches most of what you see have a white dial. This is kind of a light black or gray.
Where the taggers asked about the movement, the Habring movement, that's actually pretty technical movement in itself, right?
Yeah, we need somebody like Bill Sanders to give us all the details. Bill's a Habring fan.
Yeah,
and it is modified, but beautiful anglage. The balance cock, I can't show it on the screen, I don't think, too easily, but the balance cock is, very nicely decorated, and just a really, really cool micro brand. I picked this up from Martin Pauly, watch dealer AD in Philadelphia. He's one of I don't know. There's only like 4 or 5 Kadoki ADs in the U.S. So
I met him when I was there last summer. Pretty nice guy. He showed me a couple of the Habring he had. He didn't have any of those at the time, I don't think, but he had the couple Habring, and that definitely killer pieces.
Yeah.
So, have you been to the actual AD in Philly?
I have not been to. I've been to Watchbox. I've been to the trading floor at Watchbox before. And then I don't know. Did you see I probably posted this on the Watch Lounge Facebook page too? But this just came back too. This was gone for 37 weeks. My Patek 5524
nice.
G. 37 weeks. I got a lot of questions, so let me just state it on the video. Normally, the service would be about half the time, and that's, so whatever that would be, 18, 19 weeks. That's, pretty normal for a high complicated watch. I mean, this is a dual time travel time calendar. And then, people were shocked at the repair bill. I put the price in there. I paid $1,700 to have it repaired. And what happened is it just stopped holding a power reserve and a wind. And then when I would go to manually set the time, your watches and the feel, and all of a sudden it became like super stiff, like I was going to be forcing the hands to move to adjust the time. And that's when just stop. Something's wrong. Send it in for service. It got dried out, or oils got dried out, or something. So, a little disappointed in the price. 5-year-old watch. So, Paddock's warranty sucks. I mean, like JLC, I think is 7 years, and a lot of people are 4 years and 5 years. I think Omega's 5 years. Paddock's still only 2 years. But
Really?
the watch is 5 years old. So that's sort of at the early, in my opinion, the
Hmm.
early window of a repair. Um, so I missed it for 37 weeks, but it's because of COVID. They were shut for 2 or 3 months. They got
Yeah.
backlogged, and then they can't have as many watchmakers working at the same time
Hmm.
because of social distancing. So, it's like owning a, expensive car. It's going to cost more to get it serviced than a less expensive car.
That's
So,
not as bad as I thought it would be price wise, though, considering I think the El Primero is what, like $700 or $800, I think, to get serviced.
yeah. And I think if you had like you know, a minute repeater or, a tourbillon or, anything with a lot of complication, Bruce probably knows. I mean, the service bills on those could be thousands,
Hmm.
thousands. So, so I think that's the extent of everything that's new.
Now, we did finally get you into a G-Shock, right?
Oh yeah. Here, I got that somewhere.
Are you wearing that one a good bit?
A little bit on the beach and other places. This was the transparent G-Shock.
Okay.
Again, looks a little black, but it's kind of a transparent. There you go.
Yeah. The good thing about G-Shock is you don't have to worry about it. If something happens, nothing really will happen to it unless you lose it, you know? That's the great thing about G-Shock.
Yeah. So, I mean, kind of a fun knock around watch. Good thing to have. I think it reads well. Doesn't show very well on the video, but it reads pretty
Yeah.
well. And, kind of a fun thing to have. So yeah, that's I think that's the extent of the new stuff. I've got
Nice.
6 or 7 other watches that I traveled down here with. And hey, May 2nd, I know Bruce is in the chat or was in the chat. May 2nd, Sunday, May 2nd.
Hang on, sound is going off again. Let
Watch
me
Talk.
come back on 1 second. Let me exit and I'll come back out.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
May 2nd,
My
Watch
phone
Talk with the Punters, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. First time ever, we're going to do a full collection review of my collection. I warned Bruce and Tom. Oh, Thomas is in the chat too. I know I warned them that's going to be long. It's upwards of 35 or 40 watches. So May 2nd, 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Watch Talk with the Punters, full collection review on my collection.
Nice. Nice. What date is that going to be again?
Sunday, May 2nd. I'll be in Palm Springs, California, but I will do it from there, and I'll send some screenshots, some photos in advance to Bruce and Thomas, and I'm really looking forward to it. I didn't know that anybody would be that interested, and I always figure it's just too many watches to look at in any one setting, but I did not get to participate live in today's Watch Talk with the Punters, but I want to really watch that tonight and see Penny's collection. Penny's been a pretty astute collector, so I'm going to watch that. I'm going to watch that tonight, and plus she's just a really great person, and nice to have a community of passionate collectors like Penny. So I think that'll be great. One of my favorites, my VC oversized dual time. You may ask, why do I have 2 dual times? That Patek's a dual time watch too. I actually like a dual time complication as opposed to GMT time, a GMT watch. I know it's probably a little bit of a technicality, but I like having the hidden second time zone as opposed to reading a 24-hour GMT hand. Just personal preference. So on both the Patek and on this Vacheron overseas dual time.
Okay. Sorry, I'm having some difficulties with my phone's acting up.
Yeah, I've been talking. I think they can hear me.
Yeah.
So, I just I like a dual time complication. I've got a couple of those like that. The Vacheron and the Paddock are two of my favorites. I wear them all the time. This Vacheron on the rubber strap is just so comfortable, particularly in a climate like this in Florida where I'm at right now. I think some of you have seen this too. I'll pull this out. And then Chris, if we have to go, I don't know if you can cut it off.
I'm good.
At any point in time. But, this is probably one of my least expensive watches, white Milgauss. I keep it on an orange rubber bee strap. I get more compliments on this watch in real time, people seeing me. But also when I post it online. It's just
I like that combo. Of course, I like the orange. What strap is that? Is that Everest, you said?
This is a rubber bee.
Okay, rubber bee.
Yep, one or the other, but this really, I think the color looks great and it wears well. And I've got the bracelet still. I just haven't had it on the bracelet for a long time. So, in climates like this, rather rubber straps and steel bracelets work well. I don't have much on leather down here, just a couple of watches. I've got a Journe with me that I wear once or twice, but mostly bracelets and rubber straps down in this climate.
I don't blame you. Don't blame you. So have you? I remember last time you were on, you were saying you were trying to sell and consolidate. So the consolidation hasn't really happened, huh?
I've sold quite a few things. I've sold a couple of steel sports Rolexes. I sold a Paddock. I probably sold 7 watches in the last 6 weeks. But unfortunately, the new ones have come in pretty fast. I've only got 3 things on order. So I've got 3 watches on order right now. Forever, I've been waiting on my, grail of all grails. I've got a Kari Voutilainen Van Wheat 28, I think it is in English, bespoke dial that I designed along with my AD in Chicago. And I've shared the dial with some of you. The dial's done. Kari doesn't have the case. And he's been waiting months to get it's a platinum watch, a platinum case. I'm hoping April, May, June, I'll have it. It's been, I think, over a year now.
Okay.
A few other collectors, that have watches from Kari, and waiting over a year is not uncommon. And then the other 2 that I have deposits down, and I talked to the Omega Boutique last week, and I've got deposits on Ed White, a 321 Ed White, and a silver Snoopy. And they tell me I'll probably have the Ed White in May or June, and it'll probably be fall for the silver Snoopy. So, for me, only having 3 watches on deposits on 3 watches is that's pretty good. And I've still got a number of things that I'm trying to sell. I've got a Gray Side of the Moon that I'm looking to move. I've got a Venturine Dial Speedy Pro Moonphase moon watch. Really, really rare, a little big for my wrist, but a beautiful watch. Toying with maybe selling my FP Journe Chronomet Souverain. A few other pieces, but yeah, I've sold a few things, Chris. I've been lucky.
Nice. They by the way, guys, if you guys haven't already watched Watch Talk with the Punters, hosted by Thomas Burnett and Bruce Ruda, like Thomas said, his collection will be on there on the May the 2nd. So definitely go check that out, guys. Rick's got a killer collection. Got great taste. So, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. And I'm going to be in Myrtle Beach in about a month, 3rd week of April. And Chris and I may have something up our sleeve. We'll see what we can.
Yeah.
We'll see what we can put together. Maybe we'll at least have a cold beverage. I'm sure.
Definitely. Definitely get together. Maybe do a live stream or something. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll definitely see what's going on. We're going on about 25 minutes, half an hour. Are you about ready to call it an evening?
I am. Great Great to do an impromptu
Yeah,
live stream. Glad to share a few of the things that landed here in my lap in the last 5-6 weeks, and we'll do it again sometime.
yeah. Thanks for coming on. Thanks everybody for joining in on the conversation. Sorry about the technical difficulties, guys. My phone's giving me a hard time for
All
some
right, have a good
reason.
week, everybody.
So, all right, later, guys.